out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want big rocks. I got plans, you got talk. Heard it's real cheap, but it's really gon' cost. I'm trying to get these ends, build empires with my friends. I'm about handling my business.
TV. Everything I say in this video is alleged. It is in my opinion, and it is for entertainment purposes only. Hello, YouTube family. It's DMarie TV. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video, you guys. I'm new to YouTube. Every like and subscribe that I get, it helps me get higher in the algorithm. And I always forget to ask you guys in the front of the video, and I wait till the end and I miss it. So would you please do me a huge favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Hey, DMarie TV family. So let's talk about Big Brother Season 25, Episode 25, and everything that's been happening this week up until this point. So, as expected, Cameron wins the zombie competition. He is the person staying in the house. This is exactly what I thought it would be. This is what I predicted. And I'm happy with that decision. What they show is Blue sitting on the couch in between the two big mamas in the house, Mama Felicia and Mama Cirie. And they're comforting her because she's crying because she no longer has Jared to strategize with and hang out with in the house. Now, how are you strategizing with Jared when you actually voted to get him kicked out at some point? You know, it's a lot of times these people they're so full of it. They are full of it. And I just, Blue and her antics just really get under my skin. You know, this girl literally voted him out of the house and did not tell him the house was coming for him. So I don't want to see you crying tears talking about you so broken up about him being out of the house. Anyway, so everyone starts strategizing about what's going to happen for this upcoming week. I don't know what they strategizing about. Cameron's in the house. It's a HOH competition coming up. Listen, 85% Cameron's going to win the HOH, you know? So, and that's exactly what he does. They go to the backyard. They're doing a comic verse competition where some space pieces fall out of the sky. You got to put it back together. It's a puzzle. So Nicole was very close to getting this done, but she skipped a step looking at matching up some images on the blocks. So who wins the HOH? Cameron wins the HOH. Shocker. So everybody's like, Jag and Matt think they're good to go. Corey's being his ever so cocky self. Him and America think they're solid. Boy's just riding the waves like she always does. Then you have Cirie, Nicole, and Felicia. Now, the best part of this episode for me is when they were sitting at the table and they were eating, and Cameron sits down next to Cirie and he tells her the last thing Jared said to him was to protect Cirie. And he confirmed that he was going to do that with her. This, to me, would be the ultimate Big Brother, to have Cirie and Cameron go to the end. I would love to see that. That is what I hope to see. I don't know that it will happen, but that, to me, would be the best two people at the end of this game. And I would love to see how it works out. Cameron is gunning for Miss Felicia and he's gunning for Nicole. Now listen, that is what you see in this Felicia. She's very boisterous. Cirie is more calm. I think Cirie has the ability to communicate with everybody, but she's just not so upfront with it. So what Cameron does not want is for Felicia to get into the HOH house and get everybody to vote against him. And listen, if he comes for her, that is exactly what she will do. But what I need the other people in the house to understand and to listen to is the fact that what he is saying is, I think you guys are easily influenced and I have to remove Felicia as a threat because I don't want her to convince you guys to vote for me because I don't think you can form your own thoughts and have your own opinions. People need to let that sink in and register. He's not only saying something about Felicia, he's also saying something about the rest of the house. Okay? He believes they're all easily influenced and he believes he should be the person influencing them. So he plucks out his biggest threat, which is Felicia, so that he can, even from the Big Brother house, influence what is happening in the jury house. So that's what Cameron thinks about the people he's keeping in the game. But none of them are thinking that way. They're just thinking, how do I make it another day in the house? You know, most of them honestly are floating. And that burns me up. I do not like a game of floaters. Jag is not a game player. Jag is somebody who keeps trying to hitch himself to other people to float through. The only thing that he has going for him is that he can win some competitions, right? Matt plays a better strategic game. Blue is floating, in my opinion. She's floated this whole time. I believe Boy is floating. McCole been floating, you know? And Sari right now has to lay low. I do not believe Sari is floating. I believe Sari is laying low because she's identified Cameron and the rest of the people in the house do not like people who talk game a lot. That's why they're aiming for Felicia. And right now, Felicia's covering her. And Felicia knows that she has to come for Sari as well because she goes up and she meets with Cameron and they're talking. She's asking, you know, what are you going to do for HOA this week? And he specifically says, you've never had this conversation to me, but you've talked to every single other person in the house. He's sitting back and he's watching. And that is what you're watching Sari do. That is what good players do. They sit back, they watch, they're strategic, they talk when they're supposed to, they're quiet when they need to be. And that's what you're seeing with him. Once he made the statement to Sari, she did not respond. Like, she responded and said, but that was all she needed. She did not draw attention to the conversation. His HOH room, she has not been doing any of that. She's chilling. She's chilling because she knows how to talk when she needs to. She knows how to speak when she's spoken to. She knows how to be quiet. That's a skill set that most of these people do not have. Corey's constantly running his mouth. There was a thought that once Cameron put up Felicia and McCole to be evicted, that they would they might think about backdooring Corey. And there's been some talk about that, but I don't think that he has the numbers to do that, number one, because Jag is not on board. Matt is kind of going back and forth. He hasn't really been expressive either way. He's just kind of thinking about it. Blue wants Blue wants Corey up, which is totally correct. She needs to get Corey out the house. America and Corey should be broken up. America's the weaker of the two. Corey should go. And then after Corey goes, they better really, as a household, focus on getting some of these strong competitors out the house, or they just gonna literally walk the dog with them. They're going to it's gonna be just picking them off. And that's going to be boring to watch, and it's going to be, not the most exciting thing for them to do. Big Brother has to figure out how to switch this game up. If they don't switch the game up, it's literally going to be weeks and weeks of picking off weak people. And you don't want to see that. You want to see people rise to the occasion and fight the great fight. Everybody's just kind of sitting back wanting cover. And then, if given an opportunity, they'll step up and say something. That's it. Corey and America really want no part of this because they don't want to make big decisions. And they're not going to have to. So here comes power of veto. Cameron wins the power of veto, y'all. He wins it again, and he decides not to backdoor Corey. He decides to leave it the same way it is. He's 100% serious about getting Felicia out before people start going to jury. So once the POV was not used on Felicia or McCole, Felicia decides she gonna blow up the whole spot. Listen, she had Corey and America, honey. She had them in her. They was square in her targets, baby. Listen, she told America, what makes you think you need to say anything to me, honey? Wasn't nobody talking to you. I was over here talking to your man. She just went off on them. It was so funny. Then she goes in the kitchen and she's talking to Cameron and Jag, and she's like, do you think I blew up my game? And Cameron's like, what game? Cameron's like, what game? Listen, just be glad you got it off your chest. He's basically saying, listen, ma'am, you are so out of here. Don't nobody got time for these antics. You have to go. But it was absolutely hilarious. So These people have to start playing. They gotta get in this game. What I want to see is what on earth are these people thinking when you have someone who comes back, resurrects themselves from an eviction, wins the whole zombie competition, then goes to head of household, wins that competition, and then wins veto all in a matter of days. It baffles me that they have not decided to come together and to get Cameron out. Now, do I love Cameron's gameplay? Yes. Do I want him to stay? Yes. But we could be potentially watching weeks of Cameron just taking over. This is crazy. They're not even trying. They're not even having conversations about how they're going to get him out. It's not happening. You know, they really have to strategize, and they got to think about solid numbers. Jag and Matt thinking they're going to go at the end of this game. There is no one who played this game better than he. So the only way to beat Cameron is to get him out. If you don't get him out, he fully deserves to win this game, 100%, because he's played his butt off. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen tonight. They're probably going to show the power of veto competition. Corey is not going to be backdoored. He's going to stay. But I want to see what happens next. I want to see after eviction who is going to pull out this next head of household and what do they do with it. If McCole and Sari and Bowie, Blue, if they want a chance of staying in this game for any amount of time, they better start thinking. They better stop thinking about attaching themselves to these other alliances that are run by the males and come together and form some numbers and start picking them off. As a woman, it baffles me that I have not heard them decide, listen, we got more numbers, maybe we should consider getting rid of the guys. That's crazy when you see how strong the men are in competitions. So let's see what they do. Are they going to show up to play? What do you think? What do you think? Are we going to be watching weeks and weeks of Cameron just plucking people off? Or are these other people going to decide to play Big Brother? Drop me some comments, hit that notification button so that you know when I drop another video. And please, please, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even if my feelings grind don't stop. Got big dreams.